Hello YouTube, welcome to those of you who are joining me for the first time, and welcome back to everyone else. This video will dive into some of the small patches that just recently hit Spellbreak within the last week. But first, I'll take a moment, enjoy your coffee, hit that subscribe and like button, and of course, leave a comment below. Let's jump into it. First off, I want to say amazing work has been done by the development team. They've pushed out these hotfixes pretty fast since the release of Chapter 2. Thank you and great work on that. The changes to the league or the ranking system really was needed. So a couple of things that they did here for the league changes. They are live. It feels completely better with the grinding. It just feels like there's again some hiccups still, but that's normal with every system. They reduced the number of crowns. Before, as you can see here, it used to take 42,000 crowns to advance from gold 5 to gold 4. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. So they definitely reduced that down to 6,000. Much better in this situation. This also adds in the entry fee from silver and higher. Silver starting you at 500. Once you hit silver 5, it goes to 1,000, and then 1250, and so on and so forth as you move up in the different rankings or their league system. And this helps. I think this is going to give it's going to break apart at least the players that don't want to try to the players that are trying to be competitive in Spellbreak. Now, they did a couple other things that we saw. Again, they added the entry fees, removed the floors for tier 10, allowing players to fall out of the league as low as tier 5, meaning that once you're tier 5 in gold, you can go backwards, right? So if you don't hit that tier 5 plateau to save you from demoting yourself, you can always go backwards if that happens. I mean, if you don't you're not consistent in your games overall. So there's some of the stuff that they did with the league system. I think that's pretty solid. They also did some matchmaking changes. Now here, the matchmaking for me has been overall better. There's been more consistent 5-on-5s for Dominion. There has been less where I'm not getting 100 ping. I'm getting more like 40s and 50s. I do get some games where I'm actually below 20. But it's been matching me up depending on the time of day I'm really playing. So if I play in the morning, I know I'm seeing a lot less, a lot higher ping versus if I'm playing a lot in the evening, where it's more East Coast is out of work and stuff like that, and then the pings are a lot lower in this games. Now, while the matchmaking feels better overall, we're getting more consistent 5-on-5. I feel like the skill matching is very different. Maybe 1 out of 5 games where it's not complete stomping, meaning the other team's just not destroying the opposing team. Maybe it's more like 1 out of 3 games. I feel like there's some games where I go in and like my team just not doing anything, and I ended up me and one other person end up being like the top, and like our other, like the rest of our team is like 0 and no assist and only deaths. I'm hoping that this matchmaking will start feeling better maybe once we get more players or once we get more data. I feel like there's a little thing like missing in the matchmaking, but they've been improving it, and it feels tons better than what it was. In sense, they also added in like different ways. There's different issues like that matchmaking like completely against bots in the BR mode. We had infinite matchmaking queues. That was interesting. I didn't have that problem, but I did hear a lot of people having this issue. Again, there was another issue where teams were unbalanced. People left in the middle of joining. So that's definitely still a consistent issue. No, I do see it maybe 10 or 12 matches. I'll get like a 9, it'll be 9 players or 7 players because someone left prior to the game starting. So a lot of people do jump ship if it's an uneven match. And probably one things that they could do is not start the match and wait for somebody else to join the match if it's an uneven number, or kick everybody out and let them restart the matchmaking process. So it's definitely they definitely did a lot of updates here, and I do appreciate them making it so that before they start looking for crossplay matches, they're looking for what you're playing on. So if I'm playing PC, it's looking for other PC players. If I'm playing on console, it's looking for other console players. I have had it where even though this is I still play with more console players than I do PC players. I've noticed it hands down. One of the things is that I just check who's on my team and based on who I'm piecing on my team and who's on my team, I can assume that I'm playing against console players as well. If I have 3 or 4 members on my team that are all PS4 or all Xbox type deal. So those are the things that we see for the gameplay and all the updates that they've done for Spellbreak. They definitely came out with these updates pretty fast since Chapter 2 came out. Now, there's still a couple issues. I'm going to go through my couple issues that I still don't agree with. You know, I'm still not a fan of having to gather gear in a Dominion game style. It's not BR. It's not supposed to be RNG fest where you try to get better gear than somebody else or rush legendary so you can start one-shotting everybody because they don't have armor or anything like that, or they don't have any scrolls because you've been dominating the field. I really feel like the gear needs to disappear from Dominion and it should be like a static rare level. Now, that doesn't mean we can't have objectives in the game that give you bonuses or increased damage, similar to like what League of Legends does, or similar to what other systems have done out there, where we have things that are inside the map that can give you more points. Like in Guild Wars 2, you have to grab a ball and take it to a location and score points, right? Those would make it more interactive and make Dominion more of a game mode that is about the playing the game mode versus I need this gear, I need these stats, I need to farm these bots before I can do anything. And if I'm not lucky, then I'm screwed. And that really needs to go away. And again, these are just my opinions. And I can't count the number of times where I'm trying to pick up a scroll and it's just bad timing. Pick up a scroll, 1 second, get hit, and die. And it's like, okay, well, I just wasted like 3 seconds trying to pick up a scroll where I could have been capturing a point. And at times I just ignore the scrolls because while they help, I'm wasting more time trying to pick up a scroll than I am trying to capture points. Now, a couple of issues I've seen on Reddit. If you don't know, Spellbreak has multiple areas you can go, Discord and things like that. So definitely want to come in here and check out Spellbreak. You're better off looking at a lot of their stuff on Twitter, on Discord, on Reddit. They post it everywhere, so it's pretty solid. I do keep up to date as much as possible on their Reddit as much as there. So, you know, a couple issues I've seen them raise, and especially even in the Discord in the game suggestions and issues, is that when a team leaves Dominion, you lose the entry cost. So if like the whole opponent team just left the game, everybody on the opposing team, while everybody joined and left, they got minus entry cost as well. But the entire team that stayed also got the minus entry cost. So you immediately get, if you're in gold, you know, minus 1250. That's really unfair for people that are trolling you and they just left the game, where you had all 5 or just even one person just, oh, I'm by myself, I'm playing against 5 other players, I'm not gonna play this, I'm leaving. And they just leave the game, right? So it really needs to change. That needs to be fixed. Unfair matches, if the game is starting and it's like a 4v5 at the start, it should automatically just reset the game. It should just exit the game out, nobody loses anything, and it goes back to searching for players, or shouldn't start the game. We really want to try to avoid having games start where it's not a 5-on-5. And if somebody leaves, then we need a way to either reconnect to the game. If you got disconnected in the middle of the game, rejoining the game would be ideal. I would love to see that, and also ability to, if I can't get back into the game, right, the game needs to have some type of match forgiveness where 2 people left the game, I'm playing a 3v5, I shouldn't be getting this. I'm trying to keep up, but you're not going to win, right? You're not going to win the game in a 3v5 scenario, especially in a Dominion map as is. Can you? Yes. Is it likely? Not really. Things I was thinking about, you know, adding match forgiveness and punishing those who left the match, maybe you know, minus entry cost times 2. So if you have 12, if it's 1,000 entry cost, you're gonna get hit with a 2,000 entry cost minus for your crowns. Some people that I really want, and myself included, is a kill cam. It really helps finding if people are, you know, for one, cheating, if they're actually aiming at you and how they're aiming. But the bigger piece of it is understanding how you died and why you died. You can't even see like how they got you, or were you guys not looking at them, were they under you, things like that. When there's another person involved, when you're trying to focus on 2 other people and a third person comes in the fight, you don't notice it. You know, the kill cam really shows this, and that's really gonna help improve gameplay for a lot of players. Lastly, I've been seeing it a lot since the latest update. This feeling like rubber banding. If I'm walking through any type of toxic, or if I hit it with ice, or I'm just kind of floating in midair and I'm trying to jump down or use Garuin to dash, I'll see a hiccup where I'll lose frames, or something happens where it just feels clunky. It doesn't feel smooth like it was. So I'm not sure if it's because of the updates that they did to the artwork or the graphics, or if that's something else that happened with the, you know, with the updates, these hotfixes that they pushed out. So there's definitely a possibility that something happened with one of the updates and it just started to feel clunky. but it's definitely there, and I think a lot of people are feeling that. So that's really it. They listen to all the feedback. I think they produce an update or a hotfix within a reasonable time frame, and are consistently listening to all the feedback across all the platforms, all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Spellbreak, on Reddit, on Discord. You know, they hit everything, and they've done a very, very well job at doing this. So I think it's pretty solid overall, and I'm hoping to see more of this in the future. So I hope to see you all in the next match. Thanks for watching, and like always, take it easy.